Hello chatbox out there, it's a brand new week, so you know what that means. Lots of new adventures to be had, and I'm going to be taking you guys along with me on my adventures that I get up to. I hope you guys are all having a lovely Monday and start to your new week. I have got a few days off now, which meant I was able to have a little bit of a lie-in and not have to set any alarms, which was so good. And I got myself ready to go off and get my hair cut, so I headed off there and was listening to music on my headphones whilst on my walk up to go get my hair cut. I was enjoying the lovely sunshine and blue skies. I then got there and my hairdresser was in a meeting over the phone, so there was a note on the door saying to come back for 11. So I then headed off to have a look inside the charge shops and went off to one of the book shops to kill some time. I was waiting to get my hair cut, and then popped to one of the flower shops and I got some flower stats from there, and I'll show you guys those. I was able to get some really pretty flower sets from there with such lovely colours on, and then I got some plant sets from the plant section, and I'm going to show you guys those. I love all the succulents and cactuses and the pretty plant pots and the cabinet unit they have with all the plants and decorations on. It's just so pretty. I was then having a lovely chat with the flower shop keepers in there, and then went off and looked at some more of the shops, and then the barber's was open again, so I was able to get my hair cut, and she always does such a great job cutting my hair, and was having a lovely chat with her. And afterwards I got a mail selfie from there showing off my new haircut, and I'm going to show you guys that. I love the confidence boost a haircut gives you. I then went next door to Shelley's and had my brunch from there, and I had a fry up with a cherry cola, and I'll show you guys the breakfast that I had. The breakfast was so delicious. I then got a mirror selfie on the way out from there, as they have this mirror with lots of plants around it. I love that mirror, it's so pretty with those leaves around it. I then went off into my workplace to have a chat with Tash and show my new haircut, as I told her that I was going to be getting my haircut, and then I headed off to some more of the shops and went off to the plant shop at the top of the high street, and I got some plants from there. It's such a cute little plant shop with lovely plant displays, and I love all the succulents and cactuses and the pretty plant pots they have in there, and one of them has a squirrel on the side of, which is so cute. And I got some plant spray from there to water my succulents, and since having that it's worked wonders, and one of my succulents has now got some flowers coming off of them with the cactuses and succulents, and yeah, I just love that spray, it's worked so well. And then I was having a lovely chat with the plant shop keeper in there, and then I got a mirror selfie from there, from the mirror they have in there, surrounded by all these plants, and I'm going to show you guys. I always love getting a mirror selfie from there with all the plants around it, it's just so pretty. I then made my way home and I was listening to music on my headphones, and my mum had texted to say that she was going off to Dobby's with my grandma, so to be back for 2:15, otherwise I would not be able to go, and I was actually going to walk up anyway, so it meant that I was able to get dropped down back and not have to walk down back. And then I got home and I had some lunch, and I had this scone which was shaped like a flower, which was jam and cream, and I always do it jam then cream, although some people do the cream then jam. I prefer to have the jam then the cream, which is the best bit on top. And I had that with a cup of tea in my tulip mug, and I'll show you guys. It was so delicious. And then I got a snap of the Mother's Day flowers that we got from my mum, and we put them up on the top of the cabinet in our living room so that Bear wouldn't knock them off or try and eat them. And I'm going to show you guys those flowers. They are so pretty, and my mum and my grandma had a lovely Mother's Day, and I'm glad they did, and I hope that you guys all had a lovely Mother's Day and your mums all had a great Mother's Day celebrating. And then I sorted out my bleater doll out into 2 new looks, and I'll show you guys those. Here is the first of 2 new bleater doll looks. I'm going to show you guys. Starting off with the shoes, she's got these black boots on, then some black netted stockings. She's got a blue skirt with a heart print on, with a blue top and a blue leather jacket, and then a gold heart necklace and a black hat. And this is the whole look. Here is the second of 2 new bleater doll looks that I'm going to show you guys. Starting off with the shoes, she's got these white high heels on, some blue denim jeans on, then she has this white vest with a bow at the bottom, which is so cute. Then she has this orange cardigan with lots of clouds on. Then she has this really cute necklace with lots of charms on. Then there you have a teddy bear, some stars and a rainbow with a cloud, which I thought matched perfectly with the cardigan and her black hat. And this is the whole look. I'm loving the new looks that I'm creating at the moment with my new clothes that I've got. I'm able to mix and match them and create some really pretty new looks. And then me and my mum picked my grandma up and we headed off to the garden centre, and I got some flower sets. I was able to get some really pretty flower sets on there with such lovely colours and patterns on. I was having a good look around there, and then we went off to the cafe, and I had a bit of this blueberry Victoria sponge cake with a pot of tea, and my mum and grandma had pots of tea as well, and they had some meringue with strawberries and blueberries and cream. And I'm going to show you guys a photo of the cake and pot of tea that I had. It was so delicious, and my mum and grandma really enjoyed their meringues with the strawberries and blueberries and cream. And then we went off and had a look at the homeware and stationery section, and they had lots of Easter stuff in, and there's going to be Easter, lots of chocolates and this ginormous bunny. And I then went off to the plant section and got some plant plants from there. I was having a good look around the plant section, and I just love all the pretty plant displays and all the succulents and cactuses and the plants with all the big pretty colourful leaves, and could go in the garden centre and be in there all day if I could. But then it was time to go, and me and my mum then brought my grandma home, and I helped bring the flowers and plants that she'd got from the garden centre into the back garden, waiting for her gardener to start planting. And then me and my mum got back, and my older brother was baking lots of Easter nests with lots of mini eggs in the kitchen. And so Bear was in the living room with the baby gate across, and he was so eager to get in and get some of those treats, but was like, nope, Bear, you cannot have any of those. And they looked really good, and I then was just watching some Doctor episodes, reading some more for one day, and listening to a bit of music and just doing some drawing and colouring in. And then for my tea, I had pizza, and I had cheese pizza. The pizza was so good, nice and cheesy, just how I like it. I then finished writing my journal entry for today and put that away, and I'm now off to go and watch today's Home and Away and the UK soaps, and then I'm going to be watching this new Netflix movie called The Life List, which I've heard lots about, and I'm really excited to see that, and we'll see you in more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Tuesday, and I got up early to catch up on Neighbours and not be disturbed by any of my family members, and had some lemon curd toast and a cup of tea for my breakfast, had some bear cuddles and played with them out in the garden, and then I got myself changed, and it's definitely shorts and a t-shirt kind of weather. The weather has been so lovely with lovely blue skies, and I'm absolutely loving it, and the sunshine just always gets me in such a good mood. And then my dad got back from being at work, and he'd gone off to bed. Me and my mum were just watching a bit of TV, and then I got myself ready to go off for a walk, and I got some flower sets whilst on my walk. Let me show you guys. I had a lovely walk, getting some really pretty flower and blossom snaps, and love all the pretty flowers and blossoms out and about on my walk. And then I got some selfies and photos of the flowers and blossoms as well. And then I went off down streamside walk and got a snap of the stream, and I'm going to show you guys that. It's such a pretty stream. And then I bumped into one of my friends, so I chatted with them, and they were taking their dog for a walk, and I was then telling them all about Bear and how he's getting on. And then I went off to the medieval fish ponds and I got a snap of that. It's such a cool place and I had a great time exploring that. Then I went down to my grandma's where my mum and dad were. My mum was helping my grandma book her holiday, and my dad was doing some odd jobs around the house for my grandma. And I had a cup of tea and had a good chat with my grandma and got a mirror selfie from my grandma's spare bedroom, which is a 300 mirror, and it's so pretty, and I'll show you guys that. Then my mum and dad headed back, and I was going to be getting dropped back with them, but I ended up having a nice stroll back. I was listening to music on my headphones, and I got a snap of these two boats with tulips in just around the corner from mine. They're so pretty. I then got back and I had a cheese and pickle toastie and a cup of tea for my breakfast. My older brother got back from being at work, and his school had a cake sale, and he'd made some chocolate nests with some mini eggs in, and he had some left over, which meant I got to have one, and they're so good. And then I was just finishing writing some of my entry to my journal for today, and I'm going to be finishing that later on, and just went to some illustrations because I was dozing, had a cup of tea and some biscuits, and just watched some vlogs and TikToks and some funny dog and cat videos. And I watched this film last night on Amazon Prime called My Fault London, which is so good, and one of the guys in it is so hot, and really enjoyed watching that. And I'm now off to go and watch some more episodes of American Housewife, which I've got my younger sister into as well, and it's such a great show. And I have Jigsaw this evening, and it's the last session of term. It's half term next week, so it's not until after half term, and we're going to be having an old pizza party, which I can't wait for. Love pizza, and I'll see you when I'm back. It's later on in the evening now, and I'm back from being at the last session of digital volunteering until after half term, so it's not until a couple of weeks time now. And I got there and we were having a pizza party for the last session of this sessions until after half term, and so we ordered the pizzas and we then collected those, and I'm going to show you guys a snap of the pizzas that we had. It was so good. We had a pepperoni one, a cheese pizza, and a ham and cheese barbecue one. And we then played some games and did some quizzes and had such a lovely evening. And then it was the end of the session and it was still light out, and so I walked home, and on my way back I popped to one of the pubs where my mate Tom works and got a cola from there, and was just having a nice chat with him whilst he was out having a smoke break. And then I headed off down to the George to check that out, as they'd had a makeover in there. It looks really good in there, and I ended up getting a Sex on the Beach from there, and I got a mirror selfie from out the back, and I'm going to show you guys the mirror selfie and the Sex on the Beach that I had. That mirror is so pretty, it's gold and has lights around it, which is so cute, and the Sex on the Beach was so good. Sex on the Beaches are my favourite. I then headed home. I got back and my older sister was over, and I was having a good chat with her, and she's off to Japan soon with her two best mates. So jealous, and she was just getting the suitcases to get her stuff packed ready for that. And then I finished writing my journal entry for today, put my journal away, and then I was just watching some vlogs and TikTok, listening to some music and just doing some drawing and colouring in. I was just tidying up my office and my dolls and dollhouse a little bit, and I'm now off to go and watch today's Home and Away and UK soaps, and we'll see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Wednesday. I hope you guys are all having a lovely day. I got up after a lie-in, and I didn't set my alarm. I normally set my alarm on my days off so not to sleep the day away, but I obviously needed the extra bit of sleep, and I woke up feeling nice and energized, and I had some lemon curd toast and a cup of tea for my breakfast, and I bloody love lemon curd. It's so good. My mum doesn't like it, don't always calls it lemon turd. And I was watching some TV and listened to a bit of music and sorted out my Bluetooth out into 2 new looks, and was listening to a bit of Kylie, and I then got showered and changed, and I headed off for a walk, and I went off to the high street, and I went off to one of the bookshops and had a look in there, and I love this sort of old books so much. I then was having a look in some of the charge shops, and then went off to one of the flower shops that I hadn't gone to the other day, as they were open, and they were open again today, so I was able to get in there and get some flower snaps, and I'm going to show you guys those. They've got such lovely colourful flowers in there, and it all smells so good in there. I was able to get some really pretty detailed flower snaps on there. I was then having a lovely chat with the flower shop keeper in there, and then I headed off to have a look on some more of the shops, and I got some selfies out and about, enjoying the lovely sunshine and blue skies, and was having a good hair day. And then I popped to the lounge and had a watermelon iced tea from there. I'll show you guys that. The watermelon iced tea was so delicious. I had Harry Styles watermelon sugar high stuck in my head while having that. Then on the way out, I got a mirror selfie from there, from this mirror wall they have in there, and I'll show you guys that. I love that mirror wall and all the lanterns and lights in there, and the prints on the wall is so cute in there. I then went off to Aldi and got myself some fajita wraps and some sushi for my lunch, and I'm loving sushi at the moment. And then on the way back, I got some more selfies out and about in front of some of the blossoms and flowers that are appearing, and I just love this time of year, springtime with the sunshine and blue skies. And then I headed down to my town's castle and had a look around there, and I got some snaps of the castle that I'm going to show you guys. It's such a beautiful castle. I'd love to do a tour of there someday. I've been there for afternoon teas before, and I really want to go there for a tour someday. Maybe me and Tash will have to do that. We are thinking about going there for an afternoon tea with me and Tash sometime around Easter maybe, so might have to do that then as well. And I just love the grounds, they're so beautifully kept, and the water fountain is just so pretty. And then I got some snaps of the flowers in the garden. I'm going to show you guys. The gardens are so beautifully kept, and I love the tulips. Tulip season is here, all the lovely tulips appearing. They're just such beautiful flowers. And then I went into my town's castle's lounges where you have afternoon teas, and I got some snaps of that. I'll show you. It's so beautiful in there. I love all the tapestries and the chandeliers and all the comfy sofas and fireplaces and all the vases with all the lovely flowers, and the chessboard on the countertop by the sofa area, and it's just really lovely in there and really cozy in there. And they had some classical music playing, and I got myself a hot chocolate from there and sat and enjoyed my hot chocolate whilst listening to the classical music playing. It was really relaxing. I'm going to show you guys the hot chocolate that I had. The hot chocolate was so good. I got a photo of it on this beautiful table with such lovely carvings on. I've always said that if ever getting rid of one of those tables, that I will definitely want one, because they're just such pretty tables with such lovely details on. Then after that, I had to pop to the loo just before heading off, and I got a mirror selfie from there. That mirror is so pretty with the chandelier above, and then the little vase of flowers in the window that looks out onto the courtyard with the fountain. I then made my way home, and I was listening to some music on my headphones on my walk back, and just having a lovely stroll back. I then got home and I had my fajita wraps and my sushi with a cup of tea for my lunch, and my dad has gone off to do a disco, and I had got some socks from the child shops earlier on, as I've got lots of woolly winter socks but not many cooler summer socks for when it gets a little bit warmer. It wouldn't be wearing woolly socks in the summer, so I got these 2 packs of socks from one of the child shops. These ones are like grey and black and like a light green, and then I've got these ones which are, I've already started getting out to put away, these colourful ones, and they've got lots of lovely colours on and are very me, so I'll be putting those away in a minute. And then I was listening to a bit of music, went some more of One Day, and worked on some illustrations and coloured some of those in. My mum was getting the tea ready, and we were having spaghetti, which is one of my favourites, and we had to put my dog in the living room to stop him from jumping up at the side because he was trying to get the mints, and we didn't want him to get hurt or my mum to get hurt because he's getting quite big now, so we had to put him in the living room and put the gate across to keep him in there, which he did not like because he wanted to get out to get the mints, bless him. And then I was just sorting out my Buddha doll into her new looks. I'd started sorting them out, and then I had to go off to have a shower and then head off for my walk, so I finished them off when I got back, and they are looking fabulous. And then for my tea I had spaghetti bolognese. Spaghetti bolognese was so delicious, it's one of my favourites. Obviously got to have tons of Parmesan cheese piled on that. And then my dad got back from doing the disco, and I then finished by doing my journal entry for today, put that away, and went on to the illustrations and was coloring some of those in, and just tidying up my office and my dolls and dollhouse a little bit, and just watched some vlogs and TikToks, posted some new TikToks, and was then just reading a bit more of One Day, and had a cup of tea and some biscuits whilst reading that. And I'm now off to go and watch today's Home and Away and UK soaps and catch up on Waterloo Road from last night, and we'll see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Thursday, and I got up early ready to go to the garden centre, my happy place, and I was going off to Almonds Garden Centre, which is a bit further out from where I live, so I was getting the bus there and back. So I had some breakfast, I had some toast and a cup of tea, watched a bit of TV and just a bit of music just to kill some time before it was time for me to go off and get the bus. And then I got my bag and headphones on and headed off to go get the bus, and there's about 8 or 9 minutes until the bus was arriving, so I got there just in time and was listening to music on my headphones. Then the bus arrived and I got the bus to the garden centre, got off and walked down to the garden centre, got to the garden centre and I got some plant snacks from there. Our plant section is huge, and I was having a good look around there at the homeware section and stationery section, and I've got such lovely stationery there, and they had lots of lovely cakes and chocolates and Easter displays, so I was having a look at that with Easter coming up. And then I got a snap of these ginormous flowers they had dotted around the place, and I'm going to show you guys those. They're so pretty. I then got some saffrons in front of some of the little setups they had, kind of like an IKEA. It felt like I was playing house, and so I was just getting some food, some sort of plants and flowers and stuff they had out on display. And I then went off to go get some flower snacks from outside of the garden centre where all the plants and flowers are. Such lovely colours on, and it smells so good. I then headed off to the cafe and I had a tuna melt with a pot of tea, and I'm going to show you guys that. The tuna melt was so cheesy, and I had some salad and coleslaw, and the coleslaw was mwah, and I had my pot of tea. And then after that I let my food go down, and then went off and had a look at some more at the garden centre and was able to get some more flower snacks. I got so many plant and flower snacks whilst there. I love the garden centre, and flower and plant photography just makes me so happy. I then got some bits from Armstrong Garden Centre, and then I got back and I'm going to show you guys the things that I got from there. Here are a few things I got from the garden centre. So I got some shrimp and banana sweets, which are my favourite. They're so good. And I also got this pink and green little watering can for my dollhouse with some flowers all over it. It's so cute. Can't wait to add that to the dollhouse. I had such a great time at the garden centre, and on the way back I got myself a drink from the corner shop, and then I was just listening to a bit of music and just doing some drawing and colouring in when I got back, and was just watching some vlogs and TikToks. And me, Tash and Jamie have got tickets to see Lady Gaga in October in Manchester. Tash got the tickets, so I'm going to give her the money, and I'm just so grateful for her, my bestie, getting us all tickets to go see Lady Gaga, and I cannot wait. I was listening to Lady Gaga on the way back at it on, and it hit me. I was like, oh my god, I'm seeing her in October, and yeah, I just cannot wait to go see her. Can't believe I'm seeing Lady Gaga. And then I was just sorting out my dolls and dollhouse and had a couple of tins of biscuits. I was just reading some more of One Day and watching some episodes of Doctor Who, and I'm now off to go and have some of my bananas that I got from the sweet section from Armstrong Garden Centre, and do some new illustrations and kind of sew those in with my new fine line pens, which are working so well. And I'll see you when I'm back from Jen's tonight, as I'm going off to games night tonight, and we'll see you with more vlog later on. It's later on in the evening now, and I'm back from being at Jen's for the games night. I walked down as it stays lighter for longer now that we're going into spring, summer, which is great. I'm loving the later evenings, and I headed down and listened to music on my way down. I was having a lovely stroll. I then got to Jen's, and it was just me, Jen and Dean there at first, and then Jamie and Tasha arrived, and they brought the pudding and some drinks, and we had some Fanta Zero and some Dr Pepper, which Jamie and Tash love. I'm not really a big fan of Dr Pepper, so I just had a lot of the sugar-free Fanta, which tasted really good. Tasted like the orange Calippo lollies. And then we had our tea, and for tea we had jacket potatoes, and then we had some cake and some warm custard, and I had a bit of Victoria sponge and a little bit of chocolate cake together with some custard. The food was so delicious. We then played this sumo game, which is kind of like a duck, where you had this like belt and this hook in between your legs, and you had to squat and pick up these little cardboard sumo people, and then they had a hook on it, and then put them in a circle, and it was pretty hard, and I'm glad I gave it a go because I managed to get a few in, and it was a race against people, and by the end of it my legs were literally so sore. And then we played some games of Monopoly Bid, and I'm going to show you guys snaps of the games that we played. Had a great time at games night, although I did get a little bit competitive. I come from a big family, so competitiveness is in my blood. I'm working on not being as competitive. And then it was the end of games night, and I got dropped back by Jamie, Tash and their dad, and Jamie and myself were in the back whilst Tash and their dad were in the front, and Tash drove me home as she's been learning to drive, and she did a really good job. I was very impressed. I thought I was going to have my safety helmet on, but she did really well. And then I got in and I was telling my mum all about how games night had been, and then I finished watching my journal entry for today, and me and my mum were just watching a bit of Warehouse 13, and then I had some cereal, I had some Cookie Crisp cereal, and I'm now off to go and finish watching my journal entry for today, and then I'm going to be watching today's Home and Away and UK soaps, and we'll see you with more vlog tomorrow. It's now Friday. I hope you guys are all having a lovely day, almost a weekend. I got up early ready to go off to morning group, and I got showered and changed and had some breakfast before that, and then my mum dropped me off to morning group, and I got to morning group and we were doing some baking, and I always enjoy baking a morning group, always have so much fun from baking there. And we were making some Easter biscuits, and we made those, and then after they cooked we then waited for them to cool down, and then we iced those, and we then had a little coffee and tea break and had some biscuits and a good natter, and the session was so much fun. It always goes so quickly, you know what they say, time flies when having fun. And then they were finished and they looked so good. I'm going to show you guys a clip of the biscuits that we made at morning group. Here's the Easter biscuits that we made at morning group. There's a lamb, a carrot, a flower, a bunny, another bunny, a bird, and 2 Easter eggs. Can't wait to tuck into these. The biscuits turned out really well, and I'm glad that none of them were burnt, and they were really nice and soft, and they were nice thick sized, because I was worried that they were going to be too thin and it would break, but luckily they didn't, and they were very easy to ice and decorate, which is good. And then it was the end of the session, and I got picked up by my mum. We then got home and I had some lunch. I had some tuna mayonnaise sandwiches and a cup of tea. I just watched a bit of TV, and then I was just listening to some music and working on some illustrations and colouring some of those in using the fine line pens I got from W.H. Smith the other day. I just watched some vlogs and TikToks, posted some TikToks myself, and then I got myself ready to go off for a walk, and I listened to music whilst on my walk using my headphones. I was enjoying the lovely sunshine and blue skies. We've been having such lovely weather. Hopefully we don't get any April showers, it's crossed. And then I went off to have a look in some of the charity shops, and went off to one of the book shops, and I love the smell of old books and was having a good look around there. And I went for more of my walk, and I got some really pretty flower sacks lost on my walk that I'll show you guys. Such lovely flowers and blossoms out and about on my walk. I then went off to Coffee One and got myself a takeaway caramel frappe from there to have for my walk, as it was getting quite hot and definitely needed that to cool me down, and I'll show you guys that. It was so delicious and definitely helped cool me down. And then I made my way down to my town's castle, and they have a kitchen garden where they grow and use lots of the fruit and veg and herbs for the kitchens in the hotel, for the food that they make in the restaurant, and it's so pretty in there. And I had a good look around there and got some snacks from there. It's really cool in there, and in October they always have pumpkins in Sweden there, which is so cute, and so the pumpkins are huge. And then after that I made my way home, and I got back and my mum had gone off to a doctor's appointment, and my dad is fishing today. He normally goes on Thursdays but wasn't able to, so he's going fishing today, and so I was keeping Bear company. He's getting better at being left on his own, but he's very happy to see me and was giving me lots of kisses, so I was just sat with him whilst I watched a bit of Escape to Country. Then my mum got back and I got my uniform ready for work this evening, and I might wear my work shorts. Hopefully it's still warm enough to wear them, it should do. And yeah, I might wear my work shorts instead of my work jeans, and I'm just loving this warmer weather. And then I was just listening to a bit of music and doing some drawing and colouring in, and just watching some episodes of Doctor Who. And I then was tidying up my office a little bit more, and then my dad got back from being fishing, and my mum was getting the tea ready, and we were having curry, and it smelled so good. And then my older brother got back from being at work, and he and his girlfriend are moving into their first home together next Friday, which is very exciting. So he should no longer being living here, and it's sad but also very exciting about their new adventure together. And it means that my younger sister is going to be moving into the bedroom next door, which is my older brother's room, and then we're going to be having a spare room which I can turn into a little like art writing studio for me and my younger sister, which will be quite good. There'll have to still be a spare bed in there, but I'm looking forward to turning that into a little like sanctuary, maybe a little book snug, who knows, the possibilities are endless. And then for my tea I had chicken curry, and I'll show you guys that. The chicken curry was so good. And then after that, I was writing some more of my journal entry for today, and I'm now off to go and chill before work this evening. I'm doing a 7 till close, so I've got my uniform ready for that, and it's me and 2 other colleagues on shift, and we're all going to absolutely slay this shift. And I'll see you when I'm back. It's later on in the evening now, and I'm back from doing a 7 till close at work. So I got myself ready for work and got dropped to work by my older sister, who'd popped over, and she's off to Japan for 2 weeks. On Saturday evening she goes, and I gave her a massive hug before heading into work. Wished her a great time, and she's also going to be over there for her birthday, so I wished her a lovely birthday and a great time over there. Going to miss her lots, and I'm just so jealous. She's going to have such an amazing time. I'd love to do to Japan. Maybe I'll get there someday and see all the lovely blossoms on the cherry trees they have over there. I'll get there eventually. I then got to work, got clocked in and put my bag away, and it was me and 2 other colleagues on shift. And it was pretty busy as it was lovely sunny weather. We had lots of people sitting inside, so I was outside. So as soon as I got in and I put my bag down, I was then back outside getting these tables cleaned and putting lots of glasses through glass wash, washing lots of cutlery, and just doing lots of cleaning jobs that I could get done early. And it was then just doing lots of cleaning of tables, running food and drinks, and doing food and drink orders and drinks making, and pouring lots of pints. I'm getting really good at pints, and we had lots of regulars in, so I was chatting with them. And then one of our colleagues I was on with finished at 10ish. She stayed a little bit longer to help us with some of the close jobs, bless her. And it was a year ago that she started at our workplace, so I wished her a happy first year of working in our workplace. I've been there for nearly 6 years, which is insane, and I was like, please do not be here for another 5 years like me. But who knows, I might fly the nest eventually. And then it was just me and one other colleague on shift, and we were just smashing out the last few jobs that we had to do. And then I finished and I clocked off. I got my bag, and my colleague I was closing with loved my keyring that I have on my bag. It's a little star keyring, and it has a little bell and it jingles, and she's like, it's like there's a cat in here. And yeah, I was like, I am our workplace's pet cat from now on. And yeah, I just love it. And when I'm walking along, I don't realise sometimes, I'm like, where's that jingling coming from? And it's my bag. And then my dad picked me up. I got home and I had a cup of tea and some more of my Easter biscuits, and they're so good. And I cut them up into little pieces so other people could try sort of the Easter biscuits that I did at Morning Group, and they're so good. They're like sugar biscuits, which I love. And I'm now off to go and finish writing the rest of my journal entry for today, and then I'm going to be watching today's Home and Away and UK soaps. And I've got my uniform ready for work tomorrow, doing a 9 to 5, and it's the start of half term, so it's going to be super busy, and the weather's supposed to be really nice. But we've got a great team on, and we will smash it. I hope you guys all have a lovely weekend, and we'll see you with more to vlog tomorrow. It's now Saturday. I hope you guys are all having a lovely start to your weekend. I got up early, ready to go off to work, and I was doing a 9 till 5 at work. And I had my breakfast and just watched a bit of TV before work. I had some bear cuddles, and I got a snap of Bear fast asleep, cuddled up with one of his teddy bears, and I'm going to show you guys that. He is just so adorable. And then I got dropped to work. I got to work, got clocked in and put my bag away, and it was me and one other colleague to start with, and I was helping open up the cafe. And then Tash came in at 10, and it was so busy, and we had this town fun day thing, so there was a fair going on in the high street with lots of markets and stuff like that, and stalls, and so it made it so busy. And it was also really sunny, so lots of people were coming in because of that as well. So I was just running lots of food and drinks and doing lots of food and drink orders and bill taking and pouring lots of pints and cleaning lots of tables inside as well as outside, and so on, chat to some of the regulars. And then I got to have a lunch break, and I clocked out and I went off to have my lunch break outside of work, and I got myself some lunch from Aldi, and then went off into the high street to have a look at some of the stalls, and they had some really cool vintage cars dotted around the high street, and I got some snaps of those. They're so cool. I then sat on a bench and had my fajita wraps I got from Aldi's lunch section, and had a bit of my orange glucosade I got from there as well, and then listened to music on my headphones and was just chilling, and then head off back to work. And my lunch break hadn't finished just yet, and I'd set an alarm to go off when my lunch break had finished, and I just went back a bit earlier just in case it got busy and they needed me. So about 5-10 minutes earlier than my lunch break was finished, and just wandered back just on my phone, just chilling a bit, and then the alarm went off to signal the end of my lunch break. And then I put my bag away, got the rest of my orange glucosade from my bag and had that, and clocked back in as I clocked off whilst having my lunch break. So I just got back in, and it was just me and one other colleague on, as from 3 to 5 there's only 2 people on, and so we were just doing a massive clean up, and I was cleaning tables inside and outside and running some food and drinks. There's some drinks making and pint pouring, and so on chat to some of the regulars. And then at 5, Tash came back on with Jammy, and Jammy squared with some of her Michael Bublé fragrance, which is so nice. And I got changed into the top I'm wearing now, and got my bag, got clocked off, and then went off down to one of the pubs in the high street and had a drink from there, and chatted to Dee and one of our mates, and he's given me his number and I've now got his, and I am going to be messaging him for a catch up, and he's going to be showing me some tips on how to use my camera, and I've got a professional camera that I'm a little bit anxious to use, so he's going to help me with that. And he is a photographer and showed me some of his photos, and he is so talented. He's been all over around the world, which is so cool. And I then made my way home, and on my walk back I got some selfies in front of some of the pretty flower and blossoms that are out and about, which I just love. I love all the pretty flowers and blossoms. I was enjoying the sunshine and blue skies. The weather has just been so lovely at the moment. Hopefully we do not get any April showers, fingers crossed. I then got home and I had my sushi that I got from Aldi, and which is writing some of my journal, listened to a bit of music and did some drawing and colouring in, and was just watching some vlogs and TikToks and some funny dog and cat videos. And then for my tea I had steak, and I'm going to show you guys that. The steak was so delicious, and mushrooms are, oh, I love mushrooms so much. I then was just listening to a bit of music and working on some illustrations and colouring some of those, and my older sister is now off to Japan for 2 weeks, and I'm wishing her a lovely time in Japan, and can't wait to see her when she gets back, and hope she has a lovely birthday while she's over there as well. And I'm now off to go and finish writing my journal entry for today, and then watch tonight's Britain's Got Talent, and I'm just going to be chilling. And I have the daytime off tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to having a little bit of a lie-in, and then I might be going off for a walk and a coffee catch-up with Tash, depending on if she is free. She's going to let me know. If not, I'll probably just go for a nice Sunday stroll and get myself a frappe and enjoy the sunshine, as it's supposed to be nice tomorrow as well. And I'll see you with more vlog tomorrow. It's now Sunday. I hope you guys are all having a lovely Sunday rest. I didn't have work until this evening. I'm doing 5 till close, which meant I got to have a little bit of a lie-in, and I got up and got showered and changed, and I got a mirror selfie from my bedroom mirror with my plushies underneath. Topless photo, feeling a lot more body confident. I've been trying to eat better and going for lots of walks, and feeling a lot more body confident now, and I'm loving my skin a lot more. I then had my breakfast, and I had some lemon curd toast and a cup of tea for my breakfast, and just watched a bit of TV, just a bit of music, just some drawing and colouring in, and I got a snap of Bear. He's so adorable, and he has such lovely sparkly eyes. I then played with him out in the garden and was having some bear cuddles with him, and then I got a photo of some flowers in our kitchen window, and I'm going to show you guys those. They're so pretty. I then got myself ready to go off to have a Sunday roast, and ended up going off to the meze in the high street, and I had a pork roast and a cola from there, and a bit of sticky toffee pudding. It was so good, and one of my mates from Touch Rugby is working there, so I was having a nice catch up with him, and I can't wait for Touch Rugby to start back soon. And then I went off to the loo afterwards, as that cola had gone right through me, and it was such a big glass, but I drank it all because I was very thirsty as it's very hot out, and so I had to pop to the loo, and then I got a mirror selfie from there. It's so cute in there. I love the wallpaper and all the plants around there and around the mirror. And then I got a snap of the sink. The sink is so pretty. I then headed off and I went off to one of the charity shops, which is open. It's probably the only one that's open on a Sunday, and I got 2 dolls from there and saw one of the people who I help out with volunteering at Jigsaw on Tuesday nights, who was volunteering in the charity shop, so I was having a nice chat with them. And then I went off to Aldi and got some sushi to have after tea, as I had a cooked meal for lunch, so I wasn't going to be wanting anything too big for tea after work. So I just got myself some sushi. I'm loving sushi at the moment after going to Zaza's with Tash a few weeks back, and I then got 2 Disney mini brand like little packets that you can get, and then I made the way back, and on the way back I was listening to music on my headphones, enjoying the sunshine and blue skies, and having a lovely Sunday stroll. And I got some flower snaps and blossom snaps and shoe. I had such a lovely walk back, and just love all the pretty flowers and blossoms that are out and about. Spring is such a lovely time of year. And then I got home and I then was sorting out my office and my dolls and dollhouse, and moving some stuff around in the dollhouse, making room for the new mini brands to go in there. And I'm going to show you guys now the dolls and the mini brands that I got. Here are 2 dolls I got from one of the charity shops. This one here has a leaf covered dress with lots of lovely colours on. I'm probably going to put this on my blue tuck doll and put her in a different dress. And this one here has this blue sparkly leotard and red sparkly tights. She did come with a skirt, but I thought I'm going to leave her like that. Then she's got some blue earrings in and sparkly eyeshadow and lovely green eyes, and she has some really pretty red curly long hair, and it's got blue streaks in. It does need a little bit of TLC, which I'll be sorting out. And I got these 2 Disney mini brands from Aldi when getting some sushi to have after work, and I'm going to show you guys these opened up. Here are the Disney brands I got. I gave a few to my younger sister. So there's this puzzle, and it actually has pieces inside, which is so cool. Then we have this Merida Encanto doll, and then we have a Boba Fett from Star Wars. Then we've got Sully from The Nightmare Before Christmas, and then we have a Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story. I love Toy Story so much. And then we have this, The Little Mermaid VCR video, and it actually opens up, and I'm going to put this down quickly, show you inside. So here it is inside. It's a bit fiddly. Here you can see it has all the details on, and the cover, and on the back and on the side. So detailed, it's so cool. And these are all of the mini Disney brands, and I can't wait to get some more. They're so cool, especially that Little Mermaid VCR. I showed my younger sister and she was literally like, oh my god, it's so cool, and they're just so detailed. I love the mini brands, and they make my dollhouse seem so much more like realistic, which I love. And I'm now off to go and watch Shrek 2, which is probably my favourite Shrek film, and I'm now going to just be watching that and just chilling before going off to work this evening, and I shall see you when I'm back from work. It's later on in the evening now, and I'm back from being at work. I got ready for work, I got dropped to work, I was doing a 5 till close, and I got to work, got clocked in and put my bag away, and got my drink that I got from the corner shop just before work out to have, and I was just getting those of the cleaning jobs done and some of the clothes jobs that I could start on with early, and then I was doing some coffee making and running some food and drinks and doing some drink making, and someone touched some of the regulars, and it was just cleaning up some of the tables, and it had been quite a nice day. So we had lots of people sitting inside and outside. There's tables outside that needed to be cleaned. I was putting glasses through glass wash and putting those away, potting cutlery and putting plates and saucers away. And then it was me and one other colleague on shift until Jamie was supposed to be coming in at 7, but she wasn't feeling very well, so Tash came in instead. So it was me, Tash and one of our other colleagues, and the quiz started at 8:30, so we were just getting into the cleaning jobs done before then. And then as soon as the quiz started, it got really busy. There were quite a lot of teams show up for the quiz tonight, which is quite good, and it made it go so quick because it'd been quite quiet to start with, and then it slowly ramped up and got quite busy. So we were just doing lots of pint pouring, and I then did the restock and was just sorting that out. And then we finished about 11ish, and I am now off for a few days, and me and Tash just had to wait for the last couple of customers to leave. So we've done everything. So we got some drinks, ice and a cola, and we sat on one of the sofa areas and just had a bit of a catch up and watched a bit of my younger sister's TikTok live that she was doing. And then the last few customers left, and it was home time and we were free, so we clocked off, and I got changed into a t-shirt I had in my bag just before we finished, and had my cola, and we're just chatting about Brighton, which we are going to next month, which is so exciting. And I've just got to give her the money towards the fees that she's booked, and I'm just so excited to go off to Brighton. It's going to be so much fun, and it's going to fly by. It will soon be here, and we're going to be getting the coach there and back, and the Airbnb that we're staying in is so pretty. I've said that she can have the best room this time, because every time when we just randomly pick, I somehow always end up picking the best room. So this time we made sure to look and see which one the best room is, and I was like, right, you can have that one, I'll have the other one. And yeah, it's going to be so much fun. And then I got picked up by my dad, got home, got into my PJs and put my work clothes in the wash, and I'm now off for a few days. And me and Tasha could be meeting up on Wednesday and walking around Tivington, because we went there for some food at the pub, and we were going to go for a walk around there, but then we ran out of time, so we're going to head there and have a good walk around there. And the weather's supposed to be glorious this week. I'm loving the sunshine and blue skies, and I'm now off to go and finish writing my journal entry for today, and then I'm going to be watching some episodes of Doctor Who, and I can't wait for new Doctor Who coming out on my mum's birthday on the 12th of April. What a lovely treat for her, because she's also a massive Doctor Who fan. She's the one that got me into it, and I cannot wait. The trailers look amazing, and I hope you guys have all had a great week and weekend, and all have a lovely new week ahead, and I shall see you with a new vlog coming very soon.